Hello and welcome back to Mountain Blade Warband, and yeah, as I said in the previous episode, I'm kind of getting a bit addicted to this, which is kind of weird because I played it for so long. But it's one of those cases where I think this always has like that special place where you kind of feel at home. You know what I mean? You kind of feel at home, and you kind of think, this game has many issues, right? Has a lot of issues, but it's still fun. I don't know. It's just really fun. I don't know. It's one of those things. Anyway, we're going to be attacking Count Etrosk here, and he's actually, I believe, maybe the fellow that actually took one of our vassals prisoner. So that's the reason why I'm kind of trying to eliminate him for now. And what we're also going to do is after this, we're going to very quickly head on to Jayek, because there is another vassal attempting to raid our village there. So of course we want to try and eliminate that fellow, try to prevent that from happening. But there you go. Oh, never mind. Apparently there's no one. All right. So apparently Mr. Nelag, who is one of our vassals, he was not present in the guy's prisoner hold for some reason. Not entirely sure. And as you can see, they're actually... What is even going on here with these guys? This is so hilarious. I don't even know what's going on, because they're literally sending their... I don't want to be mean, alright? I don't want to be mean to, like, lines of code right now, but they are sending the dregs of their vassals right now, which is which is pretty funny, to be honest. I was not expecting to be fighting enemy vassals that have like 30-40 units maximum. I was thinking to myself, yeah, we're probably going to be facing, upwards of 80 units every single time we see one of these guys. But I mean, look at the sheer audacity of this fellow. He has literal tribesmen running around in his army, and that's it. It's actually so funny. I don't know. How are the Rodoks actually still even in the game at this point? If they're only able to muster this kind of strength. Obviously, I'm complaining about this, but I shouldn't really, because generally an easy fight is certainly not something that one should really be, complaining about in any way, because you should basically be like, oh yes, I very much appreciate the easy fight, thank you very much, and then just shutting up, which I should probably do. Let me just take a quick look. I need to make sure that I can sell some stuff, and oh wow, really? Yeah, barely any space. Right. Okay, this is a bit problematic. I'm thinking I might try to get the Morning Star. This is going to be really useful for us in the end, because crushing through blocks is amazing. Also, piercing damage is going to be really good. Instead of the two-handed saber, obviously I could use the two-handed saber on a mount, but you can also use the Morning Star as a one-handed. But using it as a one-handed is going to be really slow, because it is a two-handed / one-handed weapon. So of course that's not really going to work. So I'm just thinking, is there something I can get that is actually going to offset how much I'm actually selling here, because I have a lot of loot and I want to get rid of it. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a problematic situation right now. All right, let's just go into the tavern here real quick. What do we have? I don't think there's anyone here, to be honest. I think I probably have to wait here for some time. I've just had so much non-stop action, basically, that there's not really much I can do about this. Okay, so let's just wait here for some time a little bit. I'm going to assume that Jayek will be raided in a second. Yep, there we go. He's laying waste to it once again, which is absolutely fine with me, because I'm now sure that he's over here. And he doesn't have any people either. Ooh, hello. Okay, perfect. This is actually perfect. All right, we're just going to very quickly go in here, and then we're going to be laying in a pursuit course for that other vassal that just passed us by. I would very much like to eliminate him if at all possible, because he is going to be worth a lot of experience. Obviously, I don't even know whether I really need experience at this point, but basically eliminating any vassal that we can that has over, as I said before, over 80 units is going to be really useful to us, because that's just going to keep them at a low combat strength. And that's what we want to see, of course. And that's the reason why me complaining about it, I'm just kind of surprised. That's more of the point. It's not an effective complaint. It's more of a surprised, confused, you know, sort of thought on my part, because I'm thinking to myself, why are they sending these guys up here to try and raid my villages when they probably have greater concerns somewhere else? You know, they could probably go and, you know, raid someone else's village, and it would be a lot closer. You know, that's what I'm mostly talking about here. Anyway, I'm just going to take some, well, slightly better loot. I should probably go over to Rivercheck, actually. Albert Castle has been besieged. Yep, as I thought, he was going to go ahead and do that. That's absolutely fine with me. I really don't have a problem with that. We're going to level this guy up into Mercenary Horsemen, Vagian Knights. That's super nice to see that. We've got some more Man-at-Arms. I am actually doing a lot less good in terms of my army strength at the moment. So it's a little worrying if, for example, King Ragnar comes up here. Then we might have some issues. That's the worry. So I'm not sure how that's going to go, but I can only cross my fingers and hope that if he does come up here, we can probably take him on in a siege defense, and then maybe the siege defense is going to be okay, because I'm going to continually, obviously, try, if I can, if I have the spare moment. Seems like we're always doing something right now, but if I have a spare moment, of course, I'm always going to try and recruit as many units as I can get my hands on, because that's the name of the game, you know. We're going to need to do that if we are going to survive. And survival is of the utmost importance. Thank you very much for eliminating that veteran archer. That's exactly what I wanted to do. And maybe if I can actually be a bit accurate here. There we go. Nice. Yes. Yeah, I really like this weapon, actually. It's kind of surprising, because usually I'm not a big fan of two-handed in Warband, which is really funny, actually, because obviously in the previous episode, I was talking quite a lot about the differences between Warband and Bannerlord. And in Bannerlord, I just love two-handed weapons, but I haven't really used two-handeds that often in Warband. And maybe my love of two-handeds in Bannerlord has kind of spread over to Warband, which is actually pretty cool, because it gives me a bit more of a new experience. Because while I have used two-handeds, don't get me wrong, I've definitely used two-handeds, of course. I mean, over 8 years of playing the game, of course, I've used every single weapon that there is most of the time, apart from thrown weapons. Don't even get me started on my ability to use thrown weapons in Warband. It's kind of weird. Anyway, point is, using a two-handed is a bit refreshing, you know. It's a bit refreshing in comparison to what we are normally used to, because usually we're going to be, you know, doing the standard. We're going to be getting a one-handed sword and a shield, because that is generally going to be considered the strongest option, because of course, as you have no doubt seen so far in this particular series, we are having some issues sometimes. We have some issues with survivability, and being able to block the vast majority of arrows and various other projectiles that are coming towards you, that is a pretty good idea, you know. Being able to have a really, really large shield is going to make a huge difference. Alright, let's just sell all of this. Thank you very much. Look at that. Wow, we are really making absolute bank from their loot right now. And this is also the reason why I wanted to go for a pretty heavy amount of trade skill too, because that does reduce your trade penalty. So it's kind of like, yeah, I can't really liken it to anything in Bannerlord at the moment. I think it is literally just trade skill. I mean, obviously you do have the ability to loot extra things with looting skill in this game, as well as in Bannerlord with roguery skill. I'm actually thinking, should I buy one of these Bardishas? A Bardish is really good. I don't know. It's good for destroying shields and things like that, so I was thinking maybe it would be an idea. Do I need to buy any food? No, it doesn't seem like it. I've got some horses. That's great. Okay, so let's go on over to Vezin. I'm going to take a bit of a risk doing this, because I don't really want to spend... really, just got one. Alright, don't really want to spend too much time going to each of these villages. But we are, of course, going to just try our best to recruit as many units as we can. I don't really care about what kind of unit I'm recruiting right now. I'm just trying to recruit as many people as we can. That's pretty much it. Just numbers. Numbers are going to be what we want. And if we come across a couple of enemy units, then we'll probably try and fight them. And yeah, otherwise I think we'll be okay. I'm thinking maybe even if the Vagirs do declare war against us, that's not even going to be that big a deal in my opinion. Ismarala Castle only has 104 units, really not that big a deal at all. We have 94 in my army right now. I am going to be moving very, very slowly if someone actually wants to fight me right now. So this is a little risky, shall we say. A little bit risky. What? There we go, 169. Ooh, we could do this. I think we could do this. And they have 57 what? 57 rescued? Oh, and it's a ladder cut. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, let's try it out. We've got a... I mean, we've got a terrible... I mean, let's face it. We have a terrible, terrible army composition right now. I mean, yeah, we've got Swadian Knights, and we've got some relatively decent units otherwise. But we have 30 recruits. Oh, no. 30 recruits. I mean... I don't know. Maybe we're going to be okay. Maybe we're going to be fine. I mean, look at this. Oh, the battle advantage is only -1. That's not bad. Oh, dear. Now that I've said that, I think we are going to have some issues. Where are my forces going, by the way? Oh, they seem to be walking up that way instead. That actually makes more sense than what I'm doing. Because they're walking a little bit out of the way of the enemy archers. This is a nice ladder. I like this ladder style because it makes it a lot easier for me to actually get up here in comparison to the other one that just pushes me off all the time. So I like this. Let's just try and do some damage here. Don't really want to be too audacious, as I've said before. Don't really want to get embroiled in a massive fight and then get murdered by numerous units. I just literally want to do damage as best as I can, and staying up on the elevation here actually allows me a really good vantage point to murder people by hitting their head, because obviously you want to try and hit their head as much as you possibly can. That does the most damage possible. And of course, most of the time, I don't know whether you've noticed, but most of these guys don't even have helmets on, and that obviously means that you're going to be doing even more damage to them, which is great. Oh yeah, let me just not get murdered. There we go. Got to be a bit careful about that kind of thing, thank you. And yeah, this is actually a super easy siege. What is even going on with this place? I'm really surprised, because the last couple of sieges we've had have been... they've been kind of costly for me. They've been kind of costly. We've been suffering with Swadian Knights dying all the time. We've been having a number of issues, actually. But... This one seems easy in comparison, which is really weird. Oh well, never mind. Guess I'm just going to go to each of the archer nests here as well. Just want to try and eliminate these guys as best I can. You cannot stop me, sir. Thank you very much. Goodbye. This is kind of when I wish I had like thrown weapons or something like that, because if I had thrown weapons, I might be able to take these guys out without even having to go really close to them, and that would be really, really useful. But... I don't think it really matters too much, because in the end we are going to win this. As you can see, we have just completely dominated the opponent. Bear in mind, however, this is also one of the reasons why you might want to consider going for a larger army, even though you have recruits. Like, for example, like I do. I have a bunch of recruits. But if you take into account the fact that battle advantage is a very important statistic to take note of, and it's kind of weird really, because you wouldn't think that that would be so important in a number of aspects. I mean, yeah, sure, it's important because of course it has to do with how many units are on the battlefield on each side. You want to try and make sure that your battle advantage is as even, or should we say, if you can, try to make sure that you have the most battle advantage possible. But obviously, in many cases, if you're going to be doing a siege, more than likely it's going to be in the negative, because the enemy is going to have more units than you do. So that's the point. That's the reason, actually, why having a bunch of recruits actually makes a pretty big difference, because those recruits are going to reduce the enemy's battle advantage. And there you go. This guy has now gotten released. We gained a little bit of relation with the Kingdom of Vagirs. Doesn't really make that much difference at all. But this guy now likes us, so if he does end up leaving his party, then that's going to be fantastic. Oh, you can't recruit more than your maximum capacity. Ah, yeah, I forgot that. I forgot that in Warband that's actually the case. Okay, yeah. Well, we know what to do, right? We know what to do. This is super, super easy for us to do. So we're just going to be swapping out a bunch of these recruits, and we're just going to be getting everyone else. That's pretty much it. There's nothing else that I can really do here. We're just going to be leveling these guys up into these things. There we go. Let's just do this. These watchmen can probably get swapped out because I'd like to get... What would I like to get? Archers, I guess. We'll get the archers. And the camp follower. Do we want the camp follower? Or do we want someone else? The skirmishers might be kind of good, so I guess we'll do that. Yeah. Okay, we'll just do that. There we go. All right. I was really actually super hoping that I would be able to take more than my company size allows, like in Bannerlord. But no, not able to do that. So, yeah. That hurts. That hurts a great deal. Indeed, indeed. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, so there we go. We have taken this. Okay, so now here's the thing. I really don't want to give this fief to any of my vassals because they are both, in my opinion at least, I think they are faction hoppers, okay? I think they are faction hoppers. So if they decide to leave, which I'm wholeheartedly assuming that they will, then it's going to be at the worst possible time. However, I don't really want to put units into this castle again. That would be something that I don't really want to do. So I'm going to give this to Lord Nelag. I understand that he's probably going to be the worst one to give it to, but he has the highest renown, and I'm hoping that maybe he's going to actually be able to do something. Please, can he actually do something? It would be nice. Yeah, because as you can see, if you actually give it to someone else, actually that should have been something that I should have done beforehand as well. Yes. I forgot about that. Okay. In the previous episode, when I took Albert Castle yeah, when I took Albert Castle, I had the opportunity to delegate the fief to no one in particular. So basically it would just be floating around and no one would have ownership over it, but I would be, obviously my faction would control it, of course. But here's the thing. If you do it that way, it gets a free garrison. It gets a free garrison of around, well, around 30 or so troops. And that is what I've actually forgotten. I forgot that. I did not remember that that was actually a thing you could do. And doing that is really, really nice because you basically get free units. If you need units, then they give you those units and you can just use them however you like. And that's really, really powerful. So it would have been amazing if I would have been able to take advantage of that. But now at least I remember it, I remember it. So I know in the future when I take things, that could be a possible solution for us in a variety of ways. So yeah, I think that's going to be super nice for us. Okay, so at least I've remembered now. So let's go in against Jarl Ramald once again. And he's obviously... actually, you know what? I'm just gonna do a little bit of something here. I don't really want to go in a long line, as you can see. This is really not very efficient and doesn't really do that much damage. So I'm going to do it this way instead. And we're going to go in a horizontal line rather than a vertical line. And that's going to be so much better. We're going to be able to just completely enshroud the enemy in all manners of death, which is really, really good. So hopefully we'll be able to do it quite nicely. Can you guys please not run in and die immediately? That would be really nice. He says, as he then proceeds to run in and die immediately. Yes, there we go. Almost. Let's not do that, shall we? I can't believe that guy blocked me. Okay, there we go. Can I get some more damage, please? There we go. Yes, please, more of that. There we are. All right, not too bad. Yeah, I think we're fine. Oh, I'm so sorry, Swadian Knight. Are you gonna die because of my actions? No, hopefully not. All right, yeah, but that's also something that we've got to bear in mind too. Any single time you're playing Warband, you need to get killing blows for your own character to level up. You cannot just attack things and get experience through that. Because obviously in Bannerlord, the way that it works is you get a hit on something, you get a little bit of experience. If you get a kill, you get more experience for that particular weapon type. So for example, a bow. However, in Warband, you don't get any experience at all, apart from obviously weapon proficiencies, but you don't get any experience towards your level if you don't kill something. So you need killing blows. So that's a pretty big caveat that you need to, bear in mind. Otherwise, we're getting some nice level ups right here. I'm going to be continuing to go for Vagia veterans because they do become Vagia horsemen. The horsemen units are not very good, so the only reason why I'm actually leveling those up into horsemen is just so that I can have more cavalry. That is it. That is the only reason why I'm doing that, by the way. That is not because I don't realize that the Vagias are really, really good archers. I do realize that they have great archers, but generally I just want to try and have the best possible setup for cavalry-focused fighting that I can have. And that's pretty much it. We're getting some extremely good rents from Wercheg right now. Really, really happy about that. And we can continue to deal damage to the Nord vassals. I think we might even be able to... Do you think we can take Sargoth? I'm a bit worried about Sargoth, actually, because it's going to have a lot of units in there. It's going to have, what, 300 plus units in there or something like that. So I'm really worried about taking it, but it's one of those fiefs that once you've taken it, it's basically the turning point of the war with the Nords. It's going to be so incredibly easy to take the remaining portion of the Nordic territories, just purely for the fact that you have that foothold. You have that foothold. You don't need to travel from all the way in the north, in at Wercheg, all the way down to, some fief like TIHR, for example. It's just the ease of use, basically. The ease of travel, of journeying over there is just made so much easier by having Sargoth or one of the other towns in the area. So, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that, but obviously, I think we might get a sally out. I think we might get a sally out, which is going to be really good. So, yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be nice. So anyway, there we go. We're just going to take a couple more people. We're just going to take some more loot, and then we're going to leave. Okay, hello there, sirs. You seem to be fine. Are you actually going to take Sargoth? I'm not entirely sure if they are actually planning on taking Sargoth, but we'll see. Let's go for some more of this. Thank you. Yes, more Vagian Knights. Yes, there we are. And there we have it. Okay, so I'm actually thinking, let's go and scout Sargoth, and then we will go back to Curor and maybe just sell a little bit. I'm really needing to be kind of careful here. Okay, yeah, so this is not looking good at all. This is not something that we want to take, just purely for the fact that King Ragnar is in there with 123 units. It's absolutely impossible for me to take that with him in there, in my opinion. It's going to be one of those things where you just go in, you think, oh yeah, this looks okay. I have 50 Swadian Knights or whatever. I mean, I obviously don't have 50 Swadian Knights, but let's just say that I did. I would still probably not be able to take this. So it's, yeah. It's a waiting game. It's a waiting game. Because I think I could probably take King Ragnar in a field battle now. I think I would probably be able to take him on. We have some decent army capacity. I cannot believe that guy actually hit me. But yeah, we do have some decent army capacity now, so I should be able to hold my own in a fight against an enemy king. But that is obviously... it's obviously dependent on a number of factors. It depends on his composition. Does he have any Huskarls? Does he have a significant amount of Nord veterans, for example? If that is indeed the case, then we might need to reevaluate where we fight him. If we fight him on flat battlefield, like this, for example, then easy win, right? Easy win. But if we fight him in the hills, then it's gonna be... Ooh, it's gonna be hurting. It's gonna be hurting us. Alright, I actually leveled up. We've got 21 in charisma now, which is absolutely amazing. Another point in leadership it is. And there we have it. Alright, so let me actually just see. Where is the closest town? See, this is exactly the reason why taking Sargoth or TIHR would be amazing, because then I would be able to go here and just sell really, really easily and then I could continue the war effort. But unfortunately, it seems like I won't be able to do that. Let's just go over to tier, see what they have in here. They have 309. They're going to sally out, right? I feel like they're going to sally out. Let me just see here real fast. I'm just going to level up some more of these fellows. And I'm actually thinking, you know what? Let's wait here for a little bit of time. And then I might go in just purely for the fact that I will have them sally out and then just weaken them a little bit. Just weaken them, just a small amount, you know, just a small amount. Nothing amazing, but just a small amount. And then we'll see what kind of damage we've taken. I think it might be okay. This is generally not a good idea to do, by the way. You really do want to try and take fiefs in a sequential manner. So, for example, take things, you know, Wercheg, Albert Castle, Telrog Castle, Sargoth, and then the other castles all the way over to Tyr, and then take the remaining fiefs. That's usually the way you want to do things, so that you can maintain trade routes, so you can maintain consolidation of territory, and you can also make it so that enemy vassals are not caught in between your friendly territories and various fiefs, because you really don't want them continuously attacking your villagers, continuously attacking your caravans, and so on and so forth. It really makes things so incredibly messy. So having the ability to consolidate, very important. But that's only in an ideal world, and this is obviously not an ideal world. Let's have a look. Yes, they are actually coming out. Okay, fantastic. That is actually very, very good for us. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. I'm having to be a bit wary here. Don't really want to be in a situation where I get myself murdered by the archers. So I'm just going to stay on the outskirts of the fight. This guy is literally... Oh, you are annoying, sir. You are annoying. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, let's just continue to deal damage in this area. I just want to eliminate as many of the infantry as possible, because here's the thing. Even though... As you can see, I am being shot by the archers, and the archers are quite damaging. I mean, they're not going to actually, you know, break the bank in any way, not like the Vagier marksman might, or the Rodok sharpshooters or something like that. They're certainly not going to do as much damage as those guys, but they're going to deal a decent amount. And that's usually all that it takes, you know? It's all that they really need to do. Just do decent damage again and again and again, and that is eventually going to be able to kill whoever they're focusing, which indeed they have actually done a pretty good job of. You can see my HP. That is purely from fighting archers, although I think I did take about 5 damage from like a melee unit or something like that. That guy that was attempting to flank me a little bit. But yeah, anyway, there you go. 23, very easy renown. I love it. Fantastic. That's great. So now we can wait here for a little bit of time. We're getting a couple of things raided, which I can't really do much about, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to leave the siege for a real quick second. Now, here's the thing. Do you think we can actually take this? 279. 279. 93. We might be okay. We might be able to do it. It's one of those cases. It's one of those cases where we either just go in, try our luck. Yeah. And is it too much to hope for that I get another sally out? No more sally outs. I was waiting just for a little bit of extra time just to regenerate my health a little bit. And now we can head up here. Oh, this is a bad ladder. Alright, this is a really, really bad ladder. I'm going to get out my shield just in case. Because you can see here, these archers are just going to absolutely tear us apart. This is not going to be very pleasant. Okay, I'm going to get out my two-handed. Let's do this. Come on, get them. Can we actually do anything? Oh, okay, here we go, here we go. Yes, yes. Okay, perfect. Oh, this is good. This is good. This is fine. Okay. Maybe we're going to be okay. Ooh, okay. The importance. It's actually really, really important little bit of info here. Maybe it's going to be useful to some people. I don't know. the importance of minimizing the amount of attacks you do against each enemy. I know that may seem really, really, stupid for me to mention that, because obviously you're going to try and kill people as fast as you possibly can, because you need to eliminate these guys. You need to make sure that they are not continuing to deal damage to your own forces, and so on. Of course, that's obvious, right? But here's the thing. If you are going with horizontal attacks and you don't go for overheads or anything like that, you're maybe going to see that the enemy is then able to deal just that little extra hit. You might have them do an extra hit here and there, and that extra hit is going to then provide just that little bit of extra damage to eliminate that Swadian Knight, or to eliminate yourself. And so reducing the amount of hits that the enemy takes, for example, going for those overheads, going for those critical damage kind of hits, that's going to be really important. So that's, for example, you saw me fighting those archers right there. I was going for some horizontal attacks, and I thought to myself, yeah, you know what? It's faster to do that, right? It feels faster because the swing speed's pretty good. You can kind of get some nice damage out, but it just doesn't do that much damage, and you can't kill enemies in one hit most of the time. Whereas if you go for an overhead, you're more than likely going to be able to kill them in one hit if you have a decent amount of power strike and indeed a decent amount of weapon proficiency. I might actually die here. Yep, I'm dead. Yeah, that is indeed one of the things that happens quite often as well. Alright, I can't really do anything about that, unfortunately. There's only 142 in here. I'm really wanting to take this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to literally just stand here. We're just going to stand here. I have to be very careful though, okay? I have to be really, really careful, mostly because of the fact that King Ragnar is here. Ah, can you... Okay, can you chase after me, sir? No, he's just going to... What is he actually doing right now? Oh, Gerlard. Jarl Gerlard has called for a campaign, by the looks of things, and he is now following him. Alright, I need Jeremus to get back on his feet. Swadia has declared war against the Rodocks. Okay, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, there's King Ragnar right there. Technically, I would be able to take Tyr. I could take Tyr if I go back in there, but I'm going to need to wait a little bit of time just for Jeremus to get back on his feet so that we can get our wound treatment back up and running. That's really important for us. You can see how fast our HP regenerates when wound treatment is actually working. Okay. Yeah, let's do it, guys. Come on. You want to fight? I have 77%. What does he have? He has 3 Nord Huskarls. Do I have any level ups to do? No, I don't have any level ups. I'm just going to wait here. And we're going to go in. Boom. Alright. I was taking a big risk right here as well, because there's a thing that maybe you don't know about. I don't know. I mean, if you're a veteran of Warband, then you probably will know this. But if you're not, you have to be very careful about engaging vassals near to their fiefs. Because there are some times when you go to engage, the enemy is then, if there are vassals inside the garrison, the enemy is just going to pop out instantly, like superhumanly fast, basically, and they're going to absolutely gang up and try to murder you. And that is something that has happened to me in the past as well. That happens in Bannerlord, that happens in Warband, generally it happens in pretty much every Mount and Blade, I guess. So it's just one of those things. So you need to be very careful. So that's why I was taking a big risk right there, because Gerlard and the other vassals, they could have popped out. Obviously, bear in mind, they have very, very weak armies, but their contribution in numbers, that might actually push the scales in their favor. I mean, obviously, we're still dealing with a -3 battle advantage right here, but I can't really do much about that. I just have to deal with it. So, we're just going to have to go for it and see what happens. Hopefully, we're going to be able to achieve victory. This is one of those times as well, by the way, that I really wish my horse was not lame. I probably should have replaced it with one of my others and then just let it regenerate itself. But I am a bit of an imbecile sometimes, so sometimes I forget that. Yes, indeed. Because I was just noticing that now when I was running around on the field. I was thinking to myself, my horse is very slow, and then I remembered that it actually did get lamed in one of the previous fights. I'm losing a lot of units here as well. Not a big fan of that, gotta say. Not a big fan of that. Ooh, there are a lot of mail-wearing units. Nord warriors are quite significant in this fight. That's making a huge difference to how effective they are. It really is. Because as I say, being able to kill enemies in one hit versus killing them in 2 hits, it makes a difference. You may not think so, but it makes a difference. It's really quite astounding how much it really does. However, the one good thing about eliminating King Ragnar now is that we don't then have to deal with him afterwards. However, I personally feel like maybe that was a better idea. It's just really poor timing. It's just really poor timing. That's the point. I was going to get killed in that siege no matter what, in my opinion, because I saw that I was actually getting shot, and I thought to myself, I'm probably going to die here, like about 20 seconds before I actually did die. Because here's the thing, I was trapped. I couldn't move, you see. I was trapped by my own units. I don't think I could move back. I think I tried, but it was one of those times where I just got trapped and there was nothing I could do. So it was either I continue trying to deal damage or I just wait and do nothing. So yeah, that's also a bit of an issue. I'm going to let this guy go. I'm letting them go mostly so that I can just farm them later for more renown and more experience and things like that. And you can see here that we've actually increased our overall army capacity by a pretty significant amount now. My food situation is not good. Yeah. My food situation is looking really bad. I'm going to have to actually leave. I will have to leave TIHR. Ooh, this is grinding my gears, actually. This is grinding my gears pretty hard. Okay, well, whatever the case, let us go to Curor. I will return here as soon as possible. But it needed to be done, you know? We needed to eliminate King Ragnar. There was nothing I could do about that. I had to make a decision somewhere or another. If I had decided to siege the town again, he would have just gone in and tried to stop me, and I would have preferred to have fought on my own terms rather than fighting on his. So that was the reason why I engaged him instead of the other way around. But I don't know, maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so let's have a look here. Yes, just replace the Corso. There we go. And then we're just gonna sell all of that. Thank you. And let's get more of this. There we are, another 1,000, and then we can buy some food. Yes, every nice little bit of food right here, very good. And I don't want to walk in the streets, actually. I would like to go into the tavern, thank you. Borcher is here, thank you. Yes, I love him, thank you very much. And the Mercenary Horseman. Ymira is also a really nice backup for Jeremus, or generally, if you want to take her and you don't like Jeremus, then go for it. She is a very good medic companion. I'm actually thinking of taking her anyway, just purely for the fact that I will be able to send her off to gain some right to rule, which would be pretty useful. So she joins for free as well, by the way. So if at the very beginning of the game you see Ymira, just get her. She joins for free. Jeremus joins for free. They both join for free. It's really great. So generally you want to do that if you can. Otherwise, she's just going to go off and leave the party now. And then Borcher is also here. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to move Jeremus all the way to the bottom and Borcher to the top. And we're going to buy him some gear. Should we buy him some gear? Why not? Why not? Let's do that. I have no idea what kind of strength he has or anything like that, but I'm going to buy him... Should I buy him a moose helm? Let's buy him a moose helm. Why not? And we'll buy him some crude lamella armor. Let's buy him some of these, and we'll just buy him some of these, and there we go. All right, that looks pretty good. 7,200. That is pretty cheap, actually. That's pretty cheap. And we'll get him a heater shield, and I think he's got a pretty decent-ish weapon. Actually, does he have a weapon? He has a knife. Are you serious? Okay, yeah, he has a knife. That's absolutely awful. All right, let's just equip him with this. He can't use this just yet. Okay, Moose Helm is going to have to wait, unfortunately. But he has that, he has that, he has that. Okay, that's absolutely fine. and he needs to level up. So let's get him a good weapon, shall we? And he obviously cannot use something that requires strength, because it seems like he doesn't have any strength or has very little strength. So let's get him just a regular Nordic short sword or something like that. That seems pretty decent to me, and it's pretty cheap as well. So there we are. That is nice. All right, fantastic. So let's just take a quick look at his skills. All right, so he's a tracking fellow and a spotting guy. So this is the main reason why I wanted to find him, mostly because I wanted to get his spotting skill. His spotting skill is incredible in my opinion. It's going to be super, super useful for us, because especially at night, I don't know whether you've noticed, but I'm basically just seeing just purely beyond my nose, basically just a little bit further beyond my nose, and that's going to be extremely difficult for us as time goes on, when we're fighting against large amounts of vassals, and then they're just going to come out of nowhere, and it's going to be very difficult for us. So hopefully he's going to level up quite quickly, and then we'll have a good old time doing some things with him. And yeah, I think I'm going to go back to tier right now. We got a companion. He's hopefully going to level up. And who do we have here? Hello there. I'm actually going to be fighting this guy, because I don't really want him to run around and do some annoying random stuff. So let's just eliminate him while we can. Maybe I should have given him a horse. That's the thing with giving companions horses. I'm not actually, wait a minute. It's actually better for them to have horses in this than it is in Bannerlord, right? So maybe it would be an idea. I don't know. Generally, oh wow, I literally, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Rhodoks do so much damage. It's not even funny. Their crossbowmen are so incredibly damaging. These guys are not even the maximum tier. 27 damage. Wow. I wonder whether he hit me in the face. Did he hit me in the face? I have no clue, but whatever the case, that was amazing. That is some really, really good damage. And that's actually another point. If you actually like a particular style of faction, obviously here's the thing. I'm playing as the most optimized, well, I'm trying to play with the most optimized, easiest way to take over Calradia, you know? I'm basically trying to take over with using the power of the Swadian Knight, because obviously the Swadian Knight is admittedly one of the strongest, if not the strongest unit in the game. However, you've got to bear in mind that if you don't like that, if you don't like cavalry, for example, you don't have to play like that. You can play with anything you want, which is really the beauty of the game, pretty much. You can just decide whatever you want to do. You know, if you like how the Rhodoks play, play with them. If you like how the Khergits play with them. And we haven't really seen the Khergits that much, but they're cavalry focused, so, you know, maybe they're fun for you. I don't know. They have mostly all cavalry, so it's pretty fun to see them running around and stuff, especially with all their horse archers. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, don't let my playthrough impact what you choose to use, because there are a lot of options in the game, and you can have fun with pretty much any of them. I think I've played with so many of the different units so far. And we're just going to help out some of the Vaegier units here as well, by the way, because I really want to make sure that the Vaegiers know that I'm an ally of theirs, but obviously this doesn't really do much, you know. If they want to declare war against me, then they're going to declare war against me. I'm not going to prevent them from doing that just by helping them out in a couple of battles, which is a bit sad, to be honest. It's it would be nice if they would be a little bit more... I don't know, we'd take that into account a little bit more, to be honest. But obviously, it is going to help us in the end. So, for example, helping these vassals out, it's going to increase our relation with them. Then they may indeed want to join us in the future. They might defect, and they might join us. Borcher actually got 2 kills in this particular fight. That's pretty amazing. I'm actually super surprised. And there we go. The relation with him was increased. I think personally for me, I think I saved him from being eliminated, but apparently he doesn't think so. Apparently he doesn't agree with that, so he didn't give me that much in the way of relation increase, which is kind of sad, but oh well, never mind. Okay, so here we are. Yep, are you serious right here? Look at these guys. Okay, fine. We're gonna go in here. This is that is very frustrating. I've got to say that is very, very frustrating. The vassals now have a significant amount of units in here, and this is going to be somewhat problematic, but I guess the only thing we can do is just try our very best like we did before, try to do those wonderful little overheads, and then just not fall off the ladder, and then we'll hopefully have a good time. Here we go. All right. Whew. I thought I'd just shut up for a second there, because, you know, whenever I shut up, you kind of know that that's when I'm concentrating, you know. So in other words, 99% of the episode, he's not concentrating. Ah, newsflash. Yeah, that happens. Anyway, I'm gonna hopefully have. Oh, are you serious? How did you shoot me from there? Okay, yeah, this guy was really lucky with his shot against me. But I kind of have to get in here and try and do some damage. Because if I don't, bad things are going to happen. Jumping and slashing, by the way, is one of the things that generally has been proven to be pretty useful. It is also causing you to be a bit of a target, so you have to be a bit careful of how you use it. But obviously, if you need to get kills, and I desperately need to get kills, this is pretty much one of the only ways you can do it if you are surrounded by your own forces and you can't really get a good vantage little spot to stand in. I'm actually just going to move my forces back a little bit more here once again, because we're fighting in that bottleneck. I really hate fighting in that bottleneck. So let's just move back a little. There we go. Nice. Okay, so I think... Oh, here we go. This is perfect. Oh, if you can do that, okay, yeah, that's another thing that I should mention, actually. If you can get on top of your own units and you can stand on their shoulders, which is like a, I don't know, it's a weird interaction with your own forces if they're super tightly packed in. If you can do that, it's super good. It's really good, because you can basically hit everyone's head beneath you with overheads, and you can just do critical damage every single time. So it's really useful. But obviously, it depends. You know, you can still get shot pretty harshly by a number of enemies in that particular position. So yeah, you might want to be a bit careful of it. But, oh well, I don't know. Maybe it's good to sometimes focus on offense more than on defense, but obviously you cannot get eliminated. If you get eliminated, it's game over, like I showed you before, so... Ooh, we're having some issues here. Okay. No, it's okay. It's alright. Are we? Yeah, we have 41. We have 41. I think that's pretty much all I have left. Okay, I think that's it. Whew. Okay, that is nerve-wracking. Like really, no one's business. It's just so. Okay, yeah. I mean, obviously we sustained so many casualties. I'm actually super surprised that we did, because I have. Well, in my opinion, I have a pretty good amount of surgery. But apparently maybe not. I'm not entirely sure. How many sweaty nights did I lose? 8. Ouch. Okay, that's really harsh. All right, so we're just gonna be letting these guys go. They have good personalities, so it's probably a good idea to do that. Because if they're honorable or martial or generally a good personality, you are going to want these guys to join you and defect to you when their faction becomes too weak. So that's generally what you would want. Otherwise, let's just get all of this. Going to take absolutely everything. Thank you. As much as I possibly can, at least. And I'm actually going to be taking the town for myself. In my opinion, I don't think it's worth me giving a town to one of these guys. I think that's going to be really, really bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to defer the appointment of a lord until I can take counsel of my subjects. And the reason why I'm doing that, of course, is so that I can get this free garrison. Super nice. Super nice for us to be able to do that. And we're then just going to be leveling up a couple of people here. We're going to get caravan guards. Going to get all these guys. There we are. I wish there was a level up all button, but obviously they do add that in the in Bannerlord. I mean, with mods as well, they also do it with that. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're just going to put all these guys in here. Anyone that is kind of like an archer or infantry or something like that, I'm going to be doing that, and we're just going to kind of be keeping the footmen and the veterans because they do become cavalry in the end, so that's obviously going to be really useful for us. Borcha has advanced in level 2, so that's actually super nice. Let's go into the tavern here. We have some more watchmen, going to recruit them instantly, and then we just need to check the upstairs. We're going to check the upstairs and see if there's anything going on there. Oh, hello there. Who's that? That's a traveler, and that's the slave trader. Yeah, I do not want to talk to that slave trader. He's kind of, well, useless. Yeah, he's kind of useless. It's I'm not entirely sure why they even put him in the game, to be honest, because he has a base price, and he will basically pay a base price for pretty much any unit that you want to sell him, which is good, don't get me wrong, that's good, but it's only good if you are selling the lowest level of unit. For example, looters. That's it. So anything else, it's not really going to work out too well. Anyway, there we go. Borcha, you're going to level up your strength, sir. Thank you very much. And we're also going to be leveling up his spotting skill. There we go. Let's get him some more one-handed. And he still can't use the moose helm, unfortunately. Oh, this is actually better than what I was wearing. Okay, he can wear my old helmet then, I suppose. That's rather amusing. All right, so yeah, right. I also level up. So what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Kind of winging this right now, actually, because the only thing that I really wanted to do was just basically the first couple of levels I had sort of planned out in my head. But now I'm actually not entirely sure, because I could go for some more inventory management. That would give me a little bit more money, I suppose. But apart from that, I don't really see the point in going for anything. Persuasion is not that useful in this game in comparison to in Bannerlord, where charm skill can be quite good. I don't think I've ever really used persuasion to great effect in this game, but by all means, let me know actually if you've used persuasion in this game to actually do anything cool, because I'd be interested to hear about that. But otherwise, we're probably going to be putting another point into trade skill, and then I'm thinking that we may actually just increase our strength. Or we might go for some more agility. If I go for agility, what can I level up? Well, I can level up my riding skill. Do I care about riding skill that much? Not really, I guess. I can level up my athletics and my weapon master. Weapon master is also not particularly necessary. We're swinging our weapons pretty fast as it is. I would like to go for more intelligence, I think, possibly. I'm going to go for strength for now, because I would like to get to around 60 HP. And being able to get to 15 strength will allow me to do that. So that could be quite nice. But yeah, there we go. Alright, so we've taken Tyr. Probably going to be heading on to Horus Castle, if that is not a siege tower. If it's a siege tower, then I'm probably going to be leaving that for a little bit later on. But otherwise, Kurin Castle is calling to me too. And bear in mind that we don't have a particularly strong army as it is right now. So I might very well have to go back to Swadian territory, recruit a couple of people, and then rush back up to try and defend. But that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.